Hello everyone, welcome to episode 9. It's been a little bit of a break since my last episode. I've been really busy with work and things, but I have some interesting updates to share today. Hopefully you find them interesting, so let's just get right to it. First off, let's have a few updates on my status. So I'm on a bunch of different drugs now. Well, one drug and 2 drugs for the first drug. Let me explain. So I'm on steroids. I've been prescribed prednisone, and I take 60 milligrams of that every day. But now once you're on prednisone, they have to give you other drugs because of the side effects of prednisone. So I'm also on omeprazole, which is like a heartburn drug. I think you can even buy it over the counter. I've seen it at Costco. And I take that because the prednisone can cause your stomach to get upset. And then also, I'm on now, just last week it was added to another medication called Bactrim, which is like an antibiotic because steroids make you susceptible to some rare version of pneumonia. And so this antibiotic is supposed to protect you from that as well. So I'm taking those 3 pills pretty regularly. Well, I mean, some of them are every day. The Bactrim is 3 times a week. And I'm still doing the IVIG treatments every 3 weeks. They're going pretty smooth. I haven't really had side effects from them. I drink a lot of water, stay really hydrated. I don't really get headaches and things like that anymore. So that's good. This past week, actually, I had to go in for a medical procedure. The doctors wanted to do a few more tests to see if they could kind of hone in on what the really root cause of my problems are, help to direct their treatment programs. And so I went in for a biopsy at the hospital. I'm going to talk about that very shortly, but first, before I forget, I want to touch on something that happened in the Christmas music episode. I forgot what I called it, the extravaganza? No, it was a different name. Anyways, we're going to go outside quickly and just share a brief clip to talk about some feedback that I received on the Christmas video. Hello everyone, so this is just a quick little tip on camera angles because when I made the Christmas video, there's a segment where I'm kind of singing along a backup vocal in the last song with my friend Dan. And when Stacy watched the video with me, her first comment was, "Why are you so ugly?" Translation, is your camera angle so bad? Why are you filming yourself from below? And there's a very simple reason for that. The reason is that I have myositis. And therefore, when I am trying to take selfies of myself, I cannot raise the camera high enough because I can only raise my arm like this high. So as I'm singing the song, I'm kind of holding the camera out here and videoing myself singing, and you know the angle is not ideal. Thinking back over this, I thought, this is actually a good use for a selfie stick. So I happen to have one of these, and we're just going to do a little demo here of attempting to record the same clip using the selfie stick to see if the camera angle improves my appearance. So I'm just going to mount this on here. Let's see. This time I think that should be good. Okay, so I'm going to start the music, I'm going to try the video, and we're going to see what happens. Let's go with that video. Start the music.
Last Christmas I gave you my heart, but the very next day you gave it away. This year you saved me from tears. I gave it to someone special. Last Christmas I gave you my heart, but the very next day you gave it away. This year you saved me from tears. I gave it to someone special.
So I just want to make sure that I'm actually in frame because I did a take like this where I was not in frame and it didn't look good. It was worse. Oh, that's not bad. So, I don't know. I can't see it right now, but I'm going to assume it looks better. When we put the video together, we'll see. The only question that remains now is, did the camera angle make a difference, or did I just become more attractive since filming that in December? I guess we'll never know. Let's get back to the actual video now. Yeah, so I always have to give you guys like a tip of the day. So there's today's tip, a little camera angle tip. Now let's back to the biopsy. So the biopsy is a surgical procedure. I had to go to the hospital for it. And they needed to biopsy 2 muscles on my body. One is a tricep, and I still have the bandage covering the stitches here. They haven't been removed yet. I have been changing the bandage and cleaning and all that kind of thing. And the other muscle that they biopsied is called the vastus lateralis, which is like in my quadricep somewhere. And there's a bandage here, but I'm not going to remove my pants to show you the bandage, but believe me that there are stitches down there as well. So when you do a biopsy, and I don't know how much of this is, I think this has always been like that. You have to go into the hospital first for some pre-testing. They want to test your blood, look for things, they need to see, I don't know exactly what they are, but they must be related to like, do you have allergies to medications, or there's certain markers in your blood that mean you shouldn't use this or that, whatever. So they called me to schedule that, and I said, okay, I'd like to come in whatever day, because I'll be in the area. They said, okay, that works perfect. You have to come in and do some interview, like you have to talk to the people, they have to do their paperwork, and you have to do COVID tests, right? Because you have to get a COVID test before you can do procedures. So I said, okay. So I went in for my appointment, I was on time, I did all the stuff, filled the paperwork, met all these people. They took my blood, and then they told me, they gave me the instructions of what I'm supposed to do the day of my procedure. And then they told me, well, you have to do the COVID test within 4 days of your procedure. Today's the 5th day, so you have to come back tomorrow and do the COVID test. I was a little bit frustrated here because why didn't they tell that to me on the phone? But what are you going to do? So I went back the next day, did my COVID test. If you ever have to do a surgical procedure and they have COVID test required, make sure you ask them when they're scheduling your pre-tests, whether or not you're in the right window for the facility you're going to. There's your second tip of the day. So when you get ready for the biopsy, they gave me like this antibacterial soap they told me to shower with before my procedure. They told me I had to shower the night before and the morning of with this antibacterial soap. And it's like the soap that the surgeons use to scrub their hands and stuff, because it smells like hospital. Anyway, I was a little bit surprised that they asked me to shower twice. I thought maybe the nurse looked at me and thought, he looks very dirty, he needs to shower twice. But I've been told that that's just standard hospital procedure. So if it is, that's good. If it isn't, you don't have to tell me. I'm okay believing that it's standard hospital procedure, and that's fine with me. So I did the showering, and then I had to go to the hospital at like 5:30 in the morning, because the procedure has to be done like first thing in the morning so they can ship the tissue off to the Mayo Clinic for them to analyze it and stuff. So I'm there super early in the morning, and I've taken some photos of some of the stuff that happened before the biopsy. So here there's a photo, I think I'm putting it over here, of the stuff that's on the bed in the first room that they put you in. It's like bags to put your clothes in and a robe, things like that. There's some photos of me modeling the robe. So I'm dressed in the robe. It took me a long time to tie those knots because I can't raise my hands. So I'm like, tying knots behind my neck and behind my back, and I triumphed over those little strings, and I tied good knots with nice bows. I was quite proud of myself. And then here's like a photo of like my stuff after I've changed, properly put in the bags and stuff. So that was, an interesting time. Interestingly enough as well, as soon as we got to the operating room, which was very cool, by the way, it's kind of neat to look at all the bright lights and the machines and the beeping. They undid all the knots. They said, yeah, you don't need to undo them all. And I wish they had told me that I didn't need the knots to begin with, because I struggled so much. I don't know. Anyway, so that was interesting. So I was in the operating room, and they put these like inflatable bags on my ankles, and they were hooked up to some like inflating machine, obviously. And they would like alternate, like every 30 seconds, one would inflate, and the other one would take 30 seconds later, while the first one was deflating. And so they were kind of like squashing my ankles and unsquashing them with these airbags. And I guess they're like to prevent clotting in your ankles. I don't know if the blood flow changes when you're having a surgery procedure. The anesthesia, whatever it's called that puts you out, I think it's anesthesia, right? The drug that they used on me is called propofol. And what was interesting was, I was all excited, like, oh, I'm going to count backwards and all this kind of stuff. And so they're telling me, oh, we're going to start injecting the propofol now. It's like, okay. And then I was like, it burns. I could feel it like burning in the veins or whatever. And he goes, yeah, it's a chemical. So you'll feel a little sting, but then it dilutes in your blood. And that's actually the last thing I remember. Then I woke up in another room with a different nurse. And I felt sad that I missed out on all the beeping and stuff. There was like heart monitor things that were attached to my body, all sorts of neat stuff like that. So I went in, I woke up, and I found out, I was talking to the nurse that I woke up with. I wasn't like delirious. You know, some of you must have seen videos of people who come out of anesthesia and they're like all loopy and bonkers. I wasn't really like that. I had cognitive issues though. So here's a photo of the sandwich that I asked for because I was really hungry. They don't let you eat the night before, like since from midnight. So they gave me a sandwich, and I remember looking at the sandwich and thinking to myself like, oh, this is like a club sandwich. Why is the middle slice of bread so thick? And I don't know how long I looked at it because, you know, I think I was impaired. And then at some point I'm like, oh no, it's stacked on top of each other. I can eat half at a time. So I realized that. I took it and I ate my sandwich, and I was okay. But I mean, it was kind of funny that I thought that was one club sandwich with like a super thick middle slice. I think it's funny. I don't know. But that was kind of the extent of my loopiness. I kind of got pretty normal pretty quickly. So even though I'm impaired for 24 hours and I didn't drive for 24 hours, I didn't sign any contracts or buy houses. They explicitly told me not to do those things. That was the extent. I wasn't. Stacy was looking forward to me being all crazy and stuff, but it didn't really happen. Then they wheelchair you everywhere in the hospital afterwards too, which is interesting. It's kind of fun. So I'll find out my biopsy results in another couple of weeks, and I'm sure by the time the next episode is done, I can update you on what they found in the muscles fibers of my body. I got home. Here are some pictures of the incision sites. So when I was showering, I had Stacy help me peel off the bandages, the outer bandages, and we took some photos of the suture areas. I realized that night too, because I didn't notice for some reason till the end of the day, that they hadn't removed like the heart monitor stickers on my body. And they're these like, they look like little black nipples. Like, well, here's photos of those too. They were stuck on my body. I was changing. Oh yeah, there's stuff here. Just a quick side note. I don't know how to segue into this because it's very awkward. But we live in the Tampa Bay area, and the Tampa Bay Bucks won the Super Bowl. And I saw like all these clothes and stuff, things for Super Bowl champions, and they sell this merchandise. And I was thinking, maybe I need to find like other revenue streams. Maybe it would be a good idea to sell some merchandise. Here I had this idea that maybe I could make take the photos from my biopsy, because I have all these followers on YouTube now, all of you. Maybe you'd be interested in purchasing calendars, with the photos from the procedures. Here's a January calendar, a February, March, some of the months. These are like quality shots here. And also it turns out that I don't think I have enough photos, so at some point I'm going to start repeating them. I think September might be the January photo. I don't know really. But anyway, if you guys are interested, you could order these merchandise pieces. No, that's just a terrible idea. I'm sorry that I wasted your time with these horrible images. I don't know why I thought that anybody would ever want to buy any kind of merchandise of me. That's just a ridiculous idea. We should never have ordered all those calendars. No, we didn't actually order them. So those are the updates on the biopsy. I'll update you all on the results next time. I think the only other thing, I really want to do an episode to talk about all the computer stuff I've been doing. But I think this video is long enough, so I'll probably include the computer stuff in the next episode. And thank you all for watching. We'll see you again next time for episode 10. I think that's the end of this video. One little note to add though is that it is Florida where I live, so even though it's February 8th, I'm outside. It's kind of warm. I have all the windows open in my house because I don't want to run AC today. Florida's a good place to visit in the winter, people. January, February, March, the best time to come. That's it. It's a wrap for this outdoor segment. Thank you.